Hey, how everyone? Welcome back to Steven Universe Revisit. Uh, Shampoo is your host. She is an alter from the Trans Panda system, fictive from Ranma One Half, and this is Alex.
Hello, everyone.
Today's episode is Season 1, Episode 18, Beach Party. Yeah. This episode starts out with the Crystal Gems and Steven fighting a big pufferfish crystal enemy. Monster? Yeah, Shampoo thinks that was the appropriate way.
A
Uh,
giant enemy crab.
Meow. Uh, they try to fight it, but can't really seem to get a good grasp on it, and it just mostly blows them all away, leading Amethyst to just smack it into the ocean, which Pearl chides. Is chides the right word here? Would Shampoo say?
Is she chiding Amethyst?
Well, yes, that's like critiquing her, right?
Yeah.
Shampoo thinks? Yeah. Well, basically, Pearl says that the point of them fighting these monsters is to destroy them and collect the gems. So doing what Amethyst did just means it's a problem for later now. Uh, and when they go find Garnet, who was blown away, they found that Garnet landed on the pizza family's shop sign. Really just completely caving it in, which the Shampoo tried getting his name, but Shampoo couldn't really hear
Coffee, I think.
coffee, yeah, something like that. But basically, the dad of the pizza family got extremely upset that the Crystal Gems broke his pizza place restaurant and then jumped away to discuss how to deal with the pufferfish enemy. And he also tells Steven off for why is he hanging out with these reckless people who just leave destruction in their wake and don't even bother to help. Oh, yes, and that's when Mr. Pizza bans the crystal gems from the pizza shop for life, devastating Steven, who sadly and mournfully comes back to the house to tell the crystal gems that they've been banned for life from the pizza place. And then the crystal gems very dramatically lightly shrug at him because they don't care and didn't think the pizzas were actually that good in the first
It's
place.
funny. Amethyst says the pizzas aren't good. And if Amethyst, of all people, is saying that, then that's. Oh my goodness. I can't imagine how terrible those pizzas must actually be.
Amethyst literally eats garbage and she doesn't even think it's that great.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, this
that's
is
pretty low.
that's pretty bad. But Shampoo thinks it's funny. Basically, the rest of the episode is Steven feeling that saving the day is good and all that, but you should also have community with the people that you go for all this effort for. So Steven tries to get a little beach party together with all the Crystal Gems and the Pizza family, which is Mr. Pizza, Kiki, and Shampoo's forgetting her name right now, but one other daughter and the grandmother of the family. Uh, Shampoo did note is that the two children speak in mostly American accents, while the father and grandmother clearly have accents that. Well, Shampoo doesn't know if it comes from a specific place. Alex, she can't tell. She doesn't just want to say. Shampoo doesn't want to say African accent because that's way too generalizing. You know what she means.
Yes.
She feels
There
she's
are a bunch of nations in Africa, but each of them have very different accents and very different ways of speaking. I know this because I actually did know a bunch of Africans growing up, not Africans Americans, Africans, um, and quite frankly, it's a very broad African accent, I would say,
Okay.
that
Shampoo.
Nanafa and Kofi speak with.
Kofi. Yes, Kofi. Shampoo might try looking it up right now to see if there was like a specific one they were drawing from. But yes,
Well, what you might just want to do is look into who the voice actors are, because if the voice actors are from Africa, whatever African nations the voice actors are from, they are definitely taking that accent from them.
okay. Shampoo is looking up Kofi pizza, coffee pizzas. It's funny because his name is spelled out like Ko-fi, like the website. So that's the thing that Shampoo jumps to first. But the mother's name is Nanafua. Nanafua. Uh,
The grandmother.
the grandmother. Shampoo doesn't know. Shampoo will see. Ghana. Oh yes, isn't that what's his name?
Ghanaian
Rebecca Sugar's
accents.
partner, right? Uh Ian Quartz? Isn't that thank me. Shampoo's partner is shrugging comedically. More comedically than the Gems did this episode when they were told they were banned for life. Yeah. But Shampoo knows that one of the creatives that engaged a lot with Steven Universe, who was Shampoo thinks it was. Oh, Shampoo's just going to look up uh, OKKO because he's the one who made it. So Ian Jonesy Quartz, right? Cordy. Darn it. The Steven Universe crystal is invading Shampoo's mind. Yes, Ian Jones Cordy. And Shampoo thinks Ian Jones Cordy's grandmother, was it? Had, like, you said Ghana, right? Yes. Yes. Okay. Ah, yes. Jones Cordy is a grandson of Theodosia Oko, the designer of the flag of Ghana. Yes, Shampoo knew this was related.
Jill,
You
did you
okay?
hear me?
Uh,
Jill, did you hear me?
Shampoo is
Shampoo,
hearing
Jill,
you now.
shampoo.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we've had some audio issues, but the voice actors of both Nanafwa and Kofi, they're Nigerian. So if there's any accents, it's
Oh.
most likely Nigerian accents.
Oh, but their voice actors are Nigerian. Interesting. Well, Shampoo talked about how Ghana was influential for one of the creators behind Steven Universe. So,
Oh, Ian Jones
uh,
Courtley. Yeah,
yeah, Ian
he
joins
has a
Courtly.
Ghanaian ancestry, right?
Yes, Shampoo mentioned it. She looked up the wiki page, and it was the one who designed the flag of Ghana. Uh,
Okay.
but that's good to know. So the actors are Nigerian. And oh, yep, Nigerian American comedian. Okay, well, learning a lot here this episode. Shampoo is happy to make sure that we're informative. Shampoo has not finished the episode description. Should she keep going, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, Steven gets a beach party together with the pizza family and the crystal gems. Uh, mostly as a get together to try to make amends for everything, even though the crystal gems clearly don't care. This leads them to go to a volleyball. Shampoo's not exactly sure. It's not a tournament, but it's just kind of a you swap teams every time one wins sort of volleyball game. Um, And a lot of it from there is sort of the sequence of a crystal gem and a yeah, pizza family member getting along rather well. Um, Shampoo thinks that Steven and Nanafa didn't actually get to participate in the volleyball thing,
They
which
didn't.
was they didn't, which is kind of funny considering that like the crystal gems kept swapping over and over again. There was admittedly a very funny like running thing where a running gag where Mr. Kofi Pizza, when one of the daughters, was it Kiki? Shampoo can't remember,
Jenny.
but Jenny, when every time Jenny was about to hit the ball back to them, uh, Kofi Pizza said, "Jenny, if you hit that ball, you're grounded for a month." And she goes, "Daddy," and doesn't touch the ball. And so that was cute. Shampoo thought that was very cute. This keeps going on, and they keep like increasingly using crystal gem powers to cheat at volleyball, and everybody starts just getting into arguments again, and that leads Steven to sadly go pick up the ball because they're too busy arguing. And that's when the pufferfish is back. No, no, this is the most direct like setup to like comes back around at the end because they literally said it's just not dealing with your problems and it'll just come back anyway. So,
Which is
you
good
know,
life advice. You should deal with your problems because if you don't, they'll come back.
yeah. Now, if you'll excuse me, Shampoo will continue to not look at her bank account. Regardless, uh, everyone sort of freaks out for a bit, but Steven and Nenefa get a plan together and distract the pufferfish and get all the pizza and crystal gems together to work to pop the pufferfish using methods that they use for cheating in the volleyball club. And everyone learns a valuable meaning of friendship and getting along and teamwork. And then Kofi Pizza unbans the crystal gems from the pizza restaurant, which the
But
crystal
not before
gems.
killing the pufferfish.
Yeah, they killed the pufferfish. Uh, and then they're unbanned from the pizza place, which then they very dramatically shrug again and say, okay. And Pearl asks where they were banned from again because she doesn't care. And that's the end of the episode.
Well, I will say this is actually a really good way of writing for a story where the vast majority of the participants in it have no active interest in participating in the story itself. They're only doing it for Steven. This is
Yeah.
actually a really great example of one of those stories.
Yeah, Shampoo's glad to hear you had a positive opinion of it because overall it was very fun, and we got to kind of learn a little more about these characters, which Shampoo feels interacted well with the crystal gems in both camaraderie and competitiveness. Shampoo supposes.
Yeah, Shampoo, enjoy it while it lasts because the more this show lives, the more this is going to like completely disappear pretty soon.
Shampoo is giving a big thumbs up. That's right, Shampoo tricked you. She didn't even try. That is the medium of audio engineering tricking you into thinking that she's doing what she's not. Yeah.
That actually reminds me, y'all's talk sprites don't have the thumbs up thing.
The thumbs up.
Your not talk sprite, the
Thumbnail.
PNG tuber image.
Yeah.
Y'all just have your hands up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Showing off those gems. Those gams.
that's right. Anyways, I mentioned my thingamabobber. One of the notes that Amethyst says the pizza place sucks. The only other note that I have about the episode, and one that I've kind of been refraining from talking about because it's just a bit of a more complicated conversation that I don't know. Well, the thing is, everybody's experience with gender is different, and I'm not saying that there's necessarily a correct way to be a certain presentation, but
We were
it's
just
just
talking about
something.
Ranma of all things, so we definitely know this.
Freaking Ranma. Okay. There's, yeah, yeah. Wow. If this was a Ranma one half podcast, I think we'd just be really, really miserable.
Shampoo thinks, uh, Shampoo's gonna hold her tongue, which is funny because she is a Ranma one half character.
Hey, I have an even better idea than reviewing Utna. When that Ranma one half reboot comes out, we should talk about it.
It honestly might be interesting considering that, like, obviously we're getting off topic, but reboots are interesting when it was originally a manga that had kind of a solid conclusion, as solid as a conclusion for Ranma One Half can be, and an anime adaptation in the
I
80s to
wouldn't even
90s.
give Ranma one half that.
Yeah, but the anime series from the 80s to 90s just kind of stalled with like half of the show being filler, and it just ended without covering half of the entire manga, which is a very interesting angle for something to reboot. Obviously, Steven Universe doesn't have that problem because it's a show first and foremost, but mediums of adaptation and stuff and what have you. But
Well, the only thing that Steven Universe and Ranma one half have in common really is gender ideology, and even then, that's mostly surface level. Because, like, I'm just gonna talk about this very briefly. Like, I am someone who indulges in Yurusei Yatsura, right?
yeah,
And as someone who indulges in Yurusei Yatsura, I'm not gonna call myself a fan. Uh, I was recently treated to the 2022 reboot. And the thing about this reboot in particular is that it quote unquote updates the material for modern audiences in in a way that I don't think a lot of media does. Like a lot of Yurusei Yatsura's content is quite frankly questionable. A little actually I don't know how much I can get into the topic of Yurusei Yatsura without saying something that would require further explanation. But I'm just going to say this about it as a blanket statement. It's a very cishet normative manga from a time that none of us are familiar with. Therefore, a lot of subject matter that it talks about is dated in a way that would not be easily accessible to modern audiences unless you were looking into the sociological culture of the 1980s Japan at the time.
yeah.
And what the 2022 reboot does is that it doesn't necessarily update its sensibilities for modern audiences. What it does is reframe and repackage a lot of events to be updated for modern sensibilities. Like, it doesn't shy away from the material. It more reframes and repackages the material in a way that would be more palatable for audiences in 2024. That's the best way to put it. Now,
Yeah.
what does this have to do with Steven Universe?
Which Shampoo is
Well,
honestly curious because she is even less familiar with Yurusei Yatsura.
there's actually a character in Yurusei Yatsura. Her name is Ryunosuke Fujinami,
Uh-huh.
and she is an AFAB person, assigned female at birth, a character who was raised as a man because her sexist father wanted a son. Now, Ryunosuke is a very interesting comment on gender presentation, sexuality, because of the way she's handled in the series. She is basically a very she exists to challenge a lot of these like gender conventions, a lot of these gender norms, a lot of
Shampoo.
the culture around how we see ourselves. Like she is very much a pointed comment about the rigid assignment of gender and its place in our society today.
Shampoo has been told she's the world's first AFAB trans girl.
AFAB trans girl. Ryunosuke? I don't even know if I can say that.
Yeah,
Like I
it was mostly a joke when she was told that.
honestly, if there is an AFAB trans girl in Yurusei Yatsura, I don't think it would be you. I don't think it would be a character in Yurusei Yatsura. I think it would definitely be a character from Ranma One Half.
That's understandable.
Like Yurusei Yatsura is a lot more rigid with its gender presentation than Ranma One Half is, and like, and the reason this has all gone into a conversation about gender and Yurusei Yatsura for that matter is because the next statement that I'm going to say may be shocking. Quite frankly, it might offend you, but I am going to say it anyways. Every
Yeah?
single member of the Crystal Gems are extremely feminine.
Yo, okay, yeah, no. Shampoo sees that. Like, there's discussions of Steven Universe where the gems are, in a sense, non binary, but they're very clearly meant to be interpreted as women for like 99.9% of the show. I think
No,
Shampoo
like
is fair to say.
the gems are just discount women. And I'm saying that
Discount.
as an AFAB, agender person. They are essentially discount women, and I do not feel represented by any of them.
Okay, well, that's a worthy critique. If technically it's not in the text of the show, every like crystal gem is referred with she her pronouns so far, um, but it was typically thrown around in Shampoo can't remember if it was interviews or
It was an interview on Reddit. Rebecca Sugar actually confirmed that gems are agender. They're all agender as a species.
yeah, and do mu in an a is non-binary an agender?
Well, it is on the spectrum of agenderness as a form of transness, but it's not necessarily agender. When you're agender, it
Okay.
just means that gender isn't something that applies to you as a label. You don't go hard in one way or another. Like you could say I'm rather mask, but as much as I like to joke about me being masked, I don't really think that applies to me as a label because I don't think labels really apply to my experience. I don't think my experience can really be labeled. I just see gender and I say, ha ha ha, that's not for me. It's not something I vibe with. It's not something that I'm even particularly kind to.
You
It
don't
just,
have an agenda?
I definitely don't have an agenda.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Shampoo was happy to make this joke. But
No, that's
yes,
a good
this
joke.
is
But
Shampoo likes to hear these thoughts from you because it is something worth discussing in the grand scheme of things when it comes to Steven Universe because Shampoo remembers a lot of talk surrounding it. And if you don't really feel it's representative of Mew, uh,
no, I don't. I genuinely don't.
yeah,
Like
then
they're basic like all of the gems are ostensibly discount women.
You okay?
Like, I hate to be mean, and that
Shampoo?
might sound a little mean, but there aren't really any attempts to portray very GNC gems as of this point in the series. And when we do get to them, it gets really seedy and questionable and bad. Like, in only a way that would happen to female characters. Like, the gems within the meta of the show, within the text of the show, are ostensibly being treated as discount women from every single conceivable angle, and it just gets really hard to keep the reading of them being a gender in mind, despite that being the canon text, because the text doesn't do a good job of portraying gender issues very well. Hell,
Yeah.
when we get to one of these fusion episodes coming up, I'm going to have to talk about how weird it is. How weird the ideas of gender they are playing around with are. How kind of disrespectful they are to people who don't adhere to a gender binary, aka B. Like, Steven Universe has very bad ideas about gender, and as a result, it ends up having bad ideas about women.
Shampoo sees. Well, we'll keep going and we'll see how that all plays out.
We've
Yeah,
already seen inklings of this, like Amethyst
that's
being
true.
treated as the gag joke character, and and the way she's just portrayed as a slob compared to Garnet and Pearl. And Pearl just, like, they all embody, like, even in their stereotypes, they're extremely feminine. Like,
That's true.
there
Uh,
there isn't any real effort at trying to discuss a gender binary, trying to talk about these ideas and how genuinely harmful they are to adhere to a binary. It's just, they're discount women, and it really, really sucks. I
yeah,
don't feel
shampoo sees.
represented by it. In all honesty, I think this is something that would really make me angry if I was coming in with the gender praxis that I have today, if I went like 11 years ago. But even now, thinking back on this really does just upset me, because it doesn't feel like a genuine representation of the experiences that I have. And I'm gonna say this again, while I am talking about my own subjective experience, I just want you all to keep in mind that the writing team for this show did have some very cishet perspectives working on it. And those did seep into the work, regardless of whether you want to acknowledge it or not.
Yeah, even when.
Especially at this point in the show.
Hmm. Uh, Shampoo was going to say that even back in the day, there was this kind of thought Shampoo had that the agenderness of the gems felt more like a tacked on quality than it was truly something of representative quality. So,
Honestly, I should be angry about that as an agender person. I just do not feel represented by this show. It just feels like something that was said in order to get those points from the GNC trans people. And quite frankly, it makes me a little angry. And I'm about to start saying some unkind things. Okay.
just like Kofi Pizza.
Yeah.
But yes, Jeffrey doesn't think she has anything else to add to your discussion. She thinks you explained yourself quite clearly, and she is genuinely happy to hear someone's thoughts on that after so much time because yeah, I Shampoo thinks it's good to like discuss how this
Terrible the gender representation in this show is, yes.
Shampoo wasn't going to say terrible, but yeah. Oh, she's coughing. Okay. Maybe the fact that Shampoo was starting to die is a good time to. Okay.
Yeah, we
Oh
should
gosh.
probably call it here.
Yeah. That's probably it for this episode of Steven Universe Revisit. Once again, this is Shampoo of the Trans Panda system. You can find us at Transpanda on Tumblr or Transpanda Art on Tumblr or Twitter. And this is Alex.
Hi, my Patreon will be linked in the description. You can support us if you have this surplus income.
Yeah. Thank me for watching and thank me for existing.
All right, good night, everyone.
Good night. If I could begin to be half of what you think of me, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you.